Hello and welcome. The very first live stream of me playing with the PS5. Naturally, that's pretty exciting for obvious reasons. The number one reason being that because I do YouTube and I treat it like it's a full time job, I'm able to now do these little tips and tutorials and how to's for the PS5 while it's still kind of fresh and hot. And there's countless of thousands of people around the world without one. So by the time they get their hands on one, a lot of people are going to look up, hey, how come this? How come that? And then hopefully I show up in the algorithm somewhere and they're like, oh, who's this bald prick? Maybe he can help me with this. And yeah, like I said, had this been a repeat of the PlayStation 4, where it took me 10 months, almost a year, to get a PS4, that would have been awful. But I mean, back then I didn't do YouTube. I should have. I don't even want to know where I'd be right now if I had worked on my channel since then. So, just gonna kind of wait. I'll share my story of how I got the PS5. It is a little bit interesting. It's not so much an unconventional way, but a way that maybe most people wouldn't think about. And it was actually pretty easy. I didn't have to wrestle anybody, didn't have to fight anybody. There was no buying from a scalper. There was none of that BS. So, in the meantime, while we wait for a couple of people to come in before I, give all the information right up front, and then by the time people come in, I've got nothing left to say. I am going to just turn the volume down a little bit. I'm just going to browse the store in the meantime. Albert Berry. Oh, I got it. Oh, and look at that. Ding, 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 ding. Hello, Olaf. Mauricio. Hello. Would like to ask you for Generation Zero weapons. I don't know much about the weapons, but yeah. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you as well. If I don't see you until then. Not to get cocky, but I'll see if I get maybe 6, 7 people concurrently watching me. It says 5 in one, but in the analytics it says there's only 3. I'll go with the lower number because knowing me, there's only 3 people in here, and I probably count as one of them. So we're just gonna wait. We're just gonna chill. We are browsing the store, and that's what that's about. What's hot in the PlayStation Store? Well, I mean, those are games I downloaded, so I'm just gonna kind of browse around really quick, get all, boring and stuff. Hello, Hungry Panda. I've got no berries for you. But Albert Berry might. You see what I did there? It's really good so far. I'll be sharing my impressions, showing a little bit of gameplay, how I got the PS5. Maybe if I get a few more people in the live stream, just so that it's established, right? And then I don't have to keep repeating my story. So I'm just going to kind of browse the store a little bit in the meantime. People could say hi, ask me some questions or whatever. See, we could browse for PS5 specific games. So that's cool. And then I'll explain as well how that works because it's actually really interesting. And it's one of those things, again, that I'm really happy I got my hands on the PS5 for obvious reason. But also because now that I'm playing with it, now I'm going, oh, really? How come no one explained that? Time to make a video, right? Not that I'm typing when I'm making a video. That made no sense, but whatever. So actually, let's talk about that now that we've got about 6 people-ish in the stream. And I might end up repeating myself a couple of times during the stream because this is important to note for people. Some games have a real PS5 version of the game, and some games have a PS5 update to the PS4 game, taking advantage of the PS5. And it's interesting, and I'll explain why. What is your opinion about all that has been said and done about Cyberpunk? I'll quickly give you that which I've made a couple of videos on it, and then I'll get back to the PS5 thing. It's a sham. They should have been honest. I mean, that's why they didn't show us the last gen footage. Base Xbox One, base PS4. Cyberpunk is to me it's criminal. It's like borderline fraud. It's absolutely insane. So you have the fact that they refused to show the footage. You have the fact that they provided reviewers with strict embargoes, only allowed to show what the devs had gave them for footage 100% initially. See, most games, and I'll use The Last of Us because now the cat's been out of the bag for a while. We all know that you get to play as Ellie and Abby. But originally, we weren't too sure about that. So people that were reviewing the game were allowed to show a little bit of Ellie footage because that was obvious that you played as Ellie. But it wasn't so obvious that you played as Abby. So they didn't want you to do that. So what ended up happening was the developers, let's say, for The Last of Us, Naughty Dog, whatever. The point is, they would be like, hey, shh, cut that out. Here's some footage. Use some of your Ellie footage. Here's some other footage that you can use to kind of complete your review for The Last of Us 2. I'm using this as an example. That's normal. That I totally understand. They're not trying to hide nothing. But the guys at CD Projekt Wrecked, we got wrecked, all right. And it was bloody. That's why it's called CD Projekt Red. Because it's a bloody project that was never completed. It was never patched. You see what I did there? That's how you do cringe comedy. So they 100% told people of the likes of IGN, GameStop, do not use any of your footage, like not even 0.1% of your footage, not allowed. You can only show this footage initially. Once the game was out, it was too late. People had pre-ordered, purchased the game. Then IGN, then GameStop or Spot, whatever. And other people were allowed to show their footage. And then we started to see its true colors. And that's when we saw, from what they said in my other video, that they fully lied to us. They admitted that they neglected and ignored the base console of the last generation. And that's inexcusable. If that was the case, they shouldn't have sold it. They should have had it sort of like here on the PS5. Some of these games can only be purchased on the PS5. You can't play them on the PS4. Kind of like Demon Souls. You cannot buy it on the PS4, not even the Pro. So they should have just cock blocked it from the base console and that was it. But even the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X really isn't all that great. The PC's playable, but for a game that was like in development for roughly 8 years, it's inexcusable. I mean, I'm having a blast, but that still doesn't take away the fact that they screwed the fucking pooch on that one. Anyways, that's a bit of a rambling there for a couple of minutes on that. We've got about 8 people, so if people have questions about the PS5, feel free to do so. I'm just checking out the store. Again, I'm looking under PS5. And what that means is just that it's a separate game from the PS4. So let me talk about that, actually. Yeah. Some games, like I said, we all know, they have an upgrade to the PS5 version. Like in the instance of Borderlands 3 is a perfect example. Borderlands 3 allows 4K, I think. Don't quote me on that. But it definitely allows for 60 frames a second. So it's unlocked and it plays like the PC, and that's a separate game. There's not much else done to it apart from a 4-player local split screen. So that's like a newish feature. But that's about it. But you need to download a separate Borderlands 3 in order to do that. In the instance of Days Gone, what you end up happening is you can actually play the PS4 version. So these are all the PS5 games that are actually available. There's really not that many. I'm just going to take a look at these 2 games really quick. Focus Home Interactive, they can have some interesting stuff sometimes. Is this game out now? Oh my god, not even close. May 7th, 2021. Okay. Hello, Mojo. All right, so it's been a few minutes. As you can see, you can browse between the different games. So in the case, to follow back with what I was saying, in the case of the PS4 version of Days Gone here, let's fire that up. That's a game that did not get, per se, a PS5 upgrade, as in, like, there being a separate Days Gone PS5 game to re-download. But instead, it got patched. It's got dynamic 4K and 60 frames per second. Why is that a big deal? And I'll tell you why it's a big deal. Because PS5 games, as we all know, actually not everybody knows, you can only play them on an SSD. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no way around it. You want to play your PS5 game? On the SSD. And you barely got 700 gigs to play with after the system update to play your beloved PS5. So, choose wisely. Hello. What is cool, though, is the fact that you can still download the PS4 version of a game. And you might think to yourself, well, why would I want to do that? It's actually pretty simple. I love the music in this game. Is that you can play these external games, you could play these PS4 games that may have received a PS5 patch on your external hard drive. The only thing you lose, naturally, is the loading speed of the SSD. Now, in this instance, this game has shitty loading times. So I put it on the SSD to try it out, the NVMe PCI 4.0, to kind of test that out. This is what this is about.
Bike.
Holy cow, that was fast. Do you know how long it normally takes to get to that? Like, you saw that. I didn't even see the bar that was showing the progress. It's just like, hey, bitch, action.
What the?
Wow, that is some crazy shit.
Who's that?
Wouldn't you like to know? I feel like I've been rambling on for so long that I'm going to do a little bit of quick gameplay footage of this. And then I'll, like, kind of cruise around a little bit, talk. So this game, again, is on the SSD, but there's no difference apart from load times than on an external hard drive. And I kind of forget how to play, too.
How do you like that, huh? Okay, time for the rest of you.
Man, oh man, does it ever look sexy. And it's smooth as piss. Wow. Definitely blown away, because let me tell you, when this game first came out, I had it on the base PS4. It was criminal. It wasn't quite cyberpunk criminal, but it was bad. It was bad. It was a diamond in the rough. But man, these guys really stuck to their game. I know I'm kind of taking my sweet ass time here. Let me try and hurry up and get into a little bit of more action. People want to see people getting fucked up.
How do you like that?
Oh. Oops. Oh, almost two for the price of one.
There's another one. I got you now, asshole.
Now you? We're gonna get personal. You want some?
At last.
We're missing 3 people. I'm just gonna pause it quickly because I can see people typing. Hello? What's up? Playing on PS5. Cool mic. I've been a fan for 4 or 3 months. Months, I assume? Cool. So this is the Shure SM7B microphone. It's an iconic microphone. A lot of people use it. A lot of YouTubers, podcasters use it. People like Bon Jovi, Michael Jackson, like a lot of famous musicians use this microphone. It's a really good one, but because I didn't want to look like everybody else and their mother's sister's cousin's aunt that have this microphone, I decided to decorate it with a little crocheting. Similar to knitting, it's not the same thing. And kind of put some weird funky stuff on there so that it would kind of stand out. But yeah. So just, like I said, a little bit of action here. I did crank up the stream on my recording to allow for 60 frames. So hopefully on your end... Oh!
One more to go.
You will see that it's 60 frames. If you take a look at my numbers down below, I got 10 million scrap. I should be good for a long time. Except I forget how to kind of play, to be honest. So we go like that. We go like that. There we go. That's how you repair your weapon. We've got one more person, by the way. Trying to figure out where he is. Like, I don't know. Like, I know the stream, I have it on ultra low latency, so it won't have the best graphics. But I don't know if you can tell me if you can see that this is like 60 frames a second. Like, this is pretty ridiculous.
Shit. Holy shit.
Oh, there he is. He's right there. Now, how do we assassinate him? Isn't it triangle?
I saw something.
There it is.
That's the last of them. Guess your days of setting ambushes around here are over. I wonder if they had a bunker around here. I'll bet they do.
Now, what's interesting... Hey, Zach, how's it going? Now, what's interesting about this is I haven't played this game in a while. Like, in a while. And this isn't a flex, but I wanted to show you something. How do I do that? So as you can see, this is not my New Game Plus. This is actually like my non-New Game Plus. This is post-game. As you can see, every single thing, everything's 100%. Everything. And I mean everything. Except, hold on, check this out. I must have done this and I just didn't remember. It says I only have 7% ambush camp hunter, but this shows you how long it's been since I've played the game. Is it me, or were you able to reset ambush camps so that you can replay them? I don't remember having done that, is why I'm asking. I just thought that was, like, really weird. Because I mean, it's like I've never done any of them, and that's really weird. See? I've got everything, 100%. So I don't know how come I only have 7% complete of ambush camps. I can worry about that, like, on my own. I'm just saying I find that a little bit weird. Again, I haven't played this game in, like, in ages. I'm gonna try to quickly find the hatch to their bunker. I would have thought it might have been in here. I didn't think that was gonna work, but, you know, I'm desperate. Oh, there's a trap.
Could use this again.
Oh, right, you can grab them and chuck them. We'll put that out of the way. Watch me still end
This'll
up
work.
stepping on it at some point. Well, it's got to be inside the red circle. These always took me a while to kind of find on my own. Oh. I think I've been looking at it. There we go. I walked right over it. There we go. I think you have to go down to do something. Again, this is post-game. It's not New Game Plus, but I think, like I said, you could reset the camps to increase like the replay value to make it kind of fun.
Hello, a map. Looks like they marked it up pretty good.
Cool, so that's done. So like I said, I don't know if anybody's able to comment down below and let me know if it feels like 60 frames like on your end. More so just to make sure that my streaming stuff is well set up. Because on my end, it's definitely 60 frames. Gotta go near the bike to save it. Got 911 days played, or whatever that is in the game. Now let's go for a cruise. Let's take a look at our map. Yeah, see, I've cleared everything. I forget where... Is the main camp over here? Man, it's been so long. I just don't frickin' remember at all. If it was over here, it wasn't up there. It might have been up there. You know you haven't played a game in a long time when, right? Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna pick here and see what happens. I think it is Iron Mike's. We could fast travel there, but that would kind of defeat the purpose. I just can't get over the frame rate. Absolute madness. It's like playing a brand new game. I always enjoyed the driving in this game, or the riding, whatever you want to call it. It always felt nice. Except when that happens, that usually doesn't feel as good. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh!
There we go.
That was creepy. Hey. That's it. I'm gonna turn into a zombie now.
It doesn't look too bad.
Someone's at the gate. Glad you're back.
Are you now? I've been gone for a year. There we go. And here we have it. And for a moment, I forgot how to get off my bike. I think the funniest thing with this game ever, I mean, it's a bit of a spoiler, but I mean, this game is so old now, is that for the longest time, I'll just leave it with, she was nowhere to be found. It was just like the stupidest thing ever. It was such an oversight. You had Boozer there, obviously, with his mechanical arm, the dog. And then, of course, I think her name is Sarah. It's been a long time. And she was so happy when everything just kind of like worked out, just to keep it simple. But the story made it look like she rode off into the sunset without you. And it was just the dumbest thing, because then post-game you would roam around and you still had your friend there and all the other people that you ventured with throughout your journey. But the main person wasn't there. And it took them a while, but then they finally just plopped her, you know, in the chair just to kind of make it feel a bit more immersive. I actually spent a few hours, I remember when the game first launched, roaming around trying to figure out where she was hiding. Couldn't find her. Anyways, I thought that was funny. Yeah, so that's pretty decent. She was a pretty big character as well. Anyways, that gives you an idea of what this feels like. Again, I don't know if anybody could tell that it was 60 frames. Nobody is answering me. And we did save it, I think. Yeah, we did. And what's cool about when you close a game is it's done. It closes it. None of this bullshit asking you to confirm. That was one of the things that drove me crazy about the PS4. Now I'll just take like a break for a moment while there's just like a couple of people hanging out. So I like the fact that it's so quiet. You can barely even tell it's on. So that's pretty phenomenal. What I don't like is the UI. It's kind of stupid, to be honest. It's a little bit of an oversight, in my opinion, as to why they did it. And I'll explain what I mean by that. So this is the main dashboard. That's it. You'll never see more than 9 games. Your most recent games will show up on the dash. Your most recent 9. There's no way of limiting them or unlimiting them. Sort of like, again, on the PS4, you could choose to have everything just show, but you had like a massive row that went on forever. Then they finally allowed us to make folders. You can't do folders in this game. You can't choose which games are going to show on your dashboard. You can't change the theme. So it's kind of pretty decent. How are you doing, Felix? Now, Mojo, since you're there and you saw me play a little bit, did that feel 60 frames to you? Kinda? I'm trying to make sure my stream is actually set up properly. So, again, that's why I don't like this. If you want to view the rest of your games, you have to go to the game library. You have to go down. then you have to tab over to what's installed. Yes, I did. And then it'll show you with big icons what's in your storage, like your SSD, and then it'll show you what's in your extended storage. So usually like your PS4 games. I never bothered downloading the PS5 version of Watch Dogs because all it does is ray tracing and it doesn't even do 60 frames. So I was kind of like, you know what, forget it. Well, you didn't have to delete it. So I guess I could talk about that for a minute. How I got it. So in Canada, there's a store called, yeah, I've been kind of a bit late. Things have been wonky lately. EB Games is in Canada, but in the United States, you have what's called, oh shit, what's it called? GameStop, I think is what it's called. GameStop. And you know what? Let me just fire up a game while I'm flapping my gums here. Just gonna roam around. Again, PS5 version of the game. And when the console launched a month ago, I called them and I was like, I'm not gonna ask if you have any stock, because I know you don't. And then they're like, no, we got nothing, can't help you, bye. Another guy goes, nope, can't help you, sorry, bye. And I called another one, and they said, hey, why don't I put you on the waiting list? I said, what? Waiting list? What are you talking about? Is it me, or is this game really loud? It seems really loud. Let me get in the game to see if it'll let me change it. Anyways, they put me on a waiting list. So about 4 weeks later... Wow, where's the loading screen? Holy mamma mia. That is crazy. It was just like, bam. How you doing? Holy shish kebab. They're really not playing around with that. I just feel like it's a bit loud. Oh, it doesn't? It sounded louder than Days Gone. Okay. Again, just kind of goofing around. 60 frames, all that goody stuff, or all that goodness. I can't talk when I'm playing at the same time. That's why oftentimes I pause my games. So they called me yesterday, and they simply said, yeah, so you still want a PS5? We have a digital only, like the one that you wanted. The only caveat is that you must buy it with a spare controller. And I was like, well, I went through a couple of controllers on the PS4 last generation. I was like, you know what? Let's do it. It's an extra $80 Canadian. Then on top of that, the $100 Canadian for a 2-year in-store over-the-counter exchange.
Making a weapons deal out in the open like that?
Whoops, I almost forgot how to play the game. This is what happens when you play a lot of games, or you haven't played one in a while. Oh! I tell you, it's smooth as piss on the PS4 Pro, but not gonna lie, that 60 frame thing. No wonder you have those PC elitists. Except now you get the best of both worlds. You get a console which is simpler than a PC, and you still get that 60 frames. And because there's less input delay, because you're on that 60 frames, it'll actually make combat and timing your hits properly easier. Right? Because when you play and you've got a parry like in Ghost of Tsushima, it's very like sensitive. You may not really notice visually like 120 frames a second, compared to like going from 30 to 60, which you visually see. But at that point, when you go super overkill with the frames per second, is it actually has another adverse effect of lowering your input lag next to nothing. So it actually makes it feel even more responsive. Anyway, so that's why, you know, we're going on 2021 here. Like, there should be nothing under 60 frames, just period. I don't care if you gotta drop that bastard to 920p or something. Get the 60 frames. And Watch Dogs Legion gives you 4K with ray tracing, but 30 frames. They didn't give you the option of having a 60 frames, which to me, again, is another stupid oversight. But yeah. Yeah, it does, eh? Now, does it feel 60 frames to you, Felix? Like, does it feel silky smooth? Again, I'm asking because I'm curious if my recording is set up properly, because I changed some settings in my live stream. Like, I know it's 60 frames on my end, but I generally lock my recording at 30 to make it less data intense. Like, smoother than usual? Okay, yeah, it's probably set to 60 then. Oh! Get these hands, mofo. I can't get over it. I'm just literally that blown away. People that were downplaying, oh, you're not really missing much if you don't have the PS5 yet. Well, depends how you look at it.
Seriously? Certified road rage has friends?
There are games that I'm playing that I might play a lot more just because of the 60 frames and the nicer graphics. And because my computer's starting to show its age, it's also going to help me not have to play as many games on my PC. Because when I'm streaming and I'm playing a game on my PC like Cyberpunk, oh my god. Like, I just feel like running around and just whopping fools all day. And again, this is post-game, just running around, doing a bunch of nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I could do this literally. I can't speak for hours, but I could do stuff like this for hours. And it's not like it was bad on the PS4 Pro. It's just, but that little extra, you know what I mean? It's insane. Absolute madness, this thing is. So at first I was convincing myself, no, I'm not missing out on much. No. Oh, it's more than I was expecting. It exceeded my expectations. From just disgustingly how fast the game is. I mean, the SSD that's in here, let's take a moment and realize that for you to buy a 2 terabyte NVMe PCI Express 4th Gen, in Canadian dollars now, it would cost you $500,000, $500 to $600 for just the hard drive, the SSD. $500. The entire console was $500. But instead of a 2 terabyte SSD, you get a 1 terabyte. Then you lose about 100 to 150 gigs because of the operating system. So if you ask me overall, the dollar per value, whatever the fuck you want to say, it's like you're getting an insane value, in my honest opinion. Yes, they skimped on the SSD, But again, I just told you, the next step up in an SSD, a 2 terabyte, is the cost of the whole machine, half a grand. So come February or March or whenever Sony unlocks in the firmware us being allowed to be able to put an NVMe in there that meets their expectation, you have to understand that there's different tiers of NVMe. I have a pretty badass SSD on my PC. It's 7 years old and it's got about 5 or 600 megabytes read and write. A mechanical hard drive is like, 10 to 20. So when you have an SSD that's like 5 or 600 megs per second, whoa, man, 500 megs. Okay, so the PS5 is like in the upwards, I think, of 7,000 megabytes. This SSD is so fast, it makes my SSD in my PC look like what that SSD makes a PlayStation 3 hard drive look like. That is not even an exaggeration. That's an actual mathematical, literal translation. That is how fast this bitch is. I could go and buy a 4 terabyte SSD right now for about 5, 6, 700 bucks, but it'll be the old generation. It's not going to be doing those 7,000. Most of the NVMEs out there are only doing about, I say only, like it's a bad thing, 3,500, maybe 5,000. That's not quite up to code for Sony. That's why they're holding back. And now I'm starting to understand all that because I researched it. And that's why the games that utilize it, you saw how fast that was. It was just bam, you're in. So it's pretty disgusting. I'm blown away. That speed makes a difference because you're just that much quicker into the game. And that's everything. There's games, there's times I want to play a game. I don't want to play it because of the load times. Looking good in your part of the world? I'm going to wait a year for the prices to lower before. Yeah. Oh, I'm broke. If it makes you feel good, I had to borrow money from my daddy. I'm not ashamed. I mean, I get paid in like, 3, 4 days, right? I couldn't wait 3 or 4 days or they're going to be like, next, right? So we did some Days Gone. We did some Spider-Man. Official PS5 games. Again, to recap, for people that might be new to the stream, Days Gone is still the PS4 version of the game. Days Gone received the PS5 Touch without having to actually convert to a PlayStation 5 title, meaning that you can get all the goodies from your PS5's power, yet run it from the external hard drive, which is a huge blessing. Because, again, the SSD is incredibly limited. There's not a lot of games out there that are PS5 only. I've got a bunch. Look how many games I've got on my PS5, like the actual SSD again. Borderlands, Days Gone, because I wanted to treat myself to the speed. FIFA, Madden, Assassin's Creed, all PS5 titles. NBA 2K21, PS5 title. Miles Morales. This is a PS4 title, but I benefit from the quicker load times. Apart from that, there's nothing else that's been touched that I know of. Ghost of Tsushima, Marvel Avengers. Again, these are PS4 games, but that received the PS5 Touch, so they can be used on an external hard drive. But I play those games often. I wanted the snappiness of the SSD, and I have a little bit of room, so I decided to treat myself and put them on the main hard drive. Yeah, so that's what that is. And then by default, you can have it so that all games that are PS4 automatically go to your extended storage so that you don't start chewing up your SSD for games that must be on the SSD. So that's really cool. So that's probably going to be my next purchase. I may not upgrade my computer next year, and instead I might spend like a big amount of money and get like either a 2 or a 4 terabyte NVMe expansion slot for PS5. 1,000 megabyte per second. I have a 1 gig connection. Let me see. Okay, while I'm flapping my gums, no one wants to just look at my pumpkin head looking at all these games. Let's fire up Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Again, this is the PS5 version. I played the PS4 version on the PS5, And I still think I got the 60 frames. I still felt the difference. But I was like, eh. I know I talk a lot, but there's a lot of information. I've already made videos on these. Some games go far and beyond just a graphical update. Far beyond just 60 frames per second with their PS5 revamped game from the ground up. NBA 2K21, the PS5 version of the game, truly is a different game. Not because of the 60 frames and the whatever, the 4K that it does. It just does so much more. It's insane. Again, this is on the SSD, and this is the PS5 version of the game. Just thought I'd go in, cruise around a little bit. What is this? Free shit? I could do with that. The security of the page cannot be confirmed. The PS5 does not have the CA root certificate provided by the server. So we'll just take a look at that after. I'll just go into the game. So I clicked on continue. This part I remember vividly on my PS4 Pro. Running around. And it felt like I could run across an entire province before I was actually in the game. Because this is one beefy bitch. I mean... Oh, nice. A delicate blanket of snow has fallen over Ravensthorpe, and the days at their darkest. Your clan has decorated the settlement and organized traditional Yuletide festivities to keep their spirits bright. Join the feast and have a warm and mead-filled Yule.
Novid, the settlement looks quite festive.
The Yule celebration is here. It's midwinter, Eivor. Time to drink, fight, and compete in hopes of a bounteous harvest. Yolnir, the Yule god, smiles on us. The days will soon grow longer, my friend. It's all a glorious rebirth about to begin.
And you did
I
all
think I
this?
saw a kid
Not
floating in the air.
exactly. On a scouting mission,
Minor
Sunniva
details.
and I met a group of, we call them revelers. They did most of the work. Sunniva's manning the fistfight tournament. All in good fun. Meanwhile, I have opened my own shop. Rather than silver, we use what I call Yule tokens. I made them myself.
They certainly look homemade.
Thank you, yes. Now, before we begin our celebrations, we need to get the brewery and the cattle farm ready for the Yule feast.
And you'd like me to do that, I suppose.
I would. And since I'm so fond of
Okay,
you,
so there's a festival. There we go. That's all. This is post-game, by the way. And I did get Thor's hammer. I wanted to show... Oops, wrong button. I was still in Spider-Man mode. I didn't see this coming back. Am I fiber optic? I forget what fiber optic is, to be honest. I have a special technology. The way my internet works, it's kind of hard to explain. Only because I kind of forget how it works. It's a special thing. I'll just leave it at that. It's disgustingly fast. But I've got the Thor's hammer, as you can see here. So I'm very excited about that. Let me do a save. Yeah, no problem. What was it you didn't see, Cody? I didn't see this coming back. You didn't see what coming back, sorry. Yeah, so I got the Thor's hammer. And I also got the... Where is it? I ended up getting the Excalibur. That weapon. Pretty wild. But we're going to use this one for now. And we shall do this thing like that. Look like a brute. I almost felt lost for a moment. I was like, where am I again? I'm like, this is my encampment. But again, because of the winter thing, it must have been part of the update. I might as well go see his store really quick.
Novid, you look quite at home in your new shop.
I am.
Again, this is all post-game. The little prick. I don't have... Oh, time remaining 20 days. That's actually pretty good. It tells you down there how long it's going to last for. 20 days to be able to get this. I'd like to see what it looks like, but I can't seem to preview it. But I'm a bit of a gear whore, so I'm going to want to find a way to get these, but I'll do that on my own. I don't want to spend too much time browsing the fucking shop.
I must be on my way now.
People
Goodbye.
want to see bitches get smacked by the hammer. It's hammer time, essentially. That's what's going on. First of all, we're going to meditate and bring out the sun. Oh, for the chat? Yeah. Just to kind of keep the spam down a little bit. Even though my streams are very small, there's not a lot of people. You'd be surprised what 4 or 5 people talking every 2 seconds can do. It can make it incredibly fast. It's just to stop people from going, hey, enter, how, enter, R, enter, you. Like, you know what I mean? And I have a lot of trolls that come in and start typing 1,000 miles an hour. And it completely wipes the chat, so it makes it disruptive. How much stuff do I got? 99999. I think I have enough silver. It's too bad I can't convert silver to snow tokens or whatever it is. Yeah, so it feel. Oh, there's our guy. That huge part of the story. This guy was like your brother, and then we ended up kind of sleeping with his wife and stuff. And is that him, or is just that someone that looks like him? He definitely walks like him.
Good day.
But what's weird is he's got both his arms. I must investigate. I gotta follow him. I want to get a clear shot at his face. It's because he keeps looking sideways at me. And I'm like, you're fucking me up. I don't think that's him. Oh, good. Sit down. Yeah, that's right. Go to bed and then fall through the ground. This doesn't look creepy at all. No, it's not him. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Because that really caught me off guard because of the walking animation. As you can see, not everybody walks the same. He has that strut to him. Okay, let's get out of here. Come on. In the water. In the water. Oh, for the love of God. Okay. He's being disobedient. How about I fast travel somewhere and see how fast that is? Where could I go? Maybe just somewhere nearby that's not actually too far. Kind of look at the load times again. I have no idea what that is, to be honest. What's a London Coliseum? I think that's a location in the game, isn't it? Oh. We might finally get some action here. The game is on the hardest difficulty now. Oh, hammer time! Wow. That really rocked him. That seemed a little too easy. Options. Gameplay. Combat difficulty. Very hard. Okay. I guess it just synced my trophies. London Coliseum, you say? Where is the London's in London, whatever the hell it's called? I don't remember where it is. Do you want me to go there? Show it to you. I just don't remember where it is. This map is so big. It's like, damn it. The one place I'm looking for, can't find it. I thought it was around here somewhere. I have no idea where it is. No idea. Ah, there, London. Why would it be covered in snow? Is it because of the Yule Festival? Is that what you're saying? There's an amphitheater. Is that it? Colosseum Theater? Might as well go. It is far from covered in snow. What made you think it would have been covered in snow? I think the Yule Festival is only at your main town. Yeah, it's not covered in snow. Can I do how to play Warzone story mode? I don't even know that Warzone has a story mode apart from just annihilate all the enemy players. Well, Warzone is the Battle Royale. I don't know much about... I don't play Warzone. I did stuff that you can do offline. You have all the right hardware, you just have to check your telecommunications provider what source you're receiving. Just trying to help out. I'm really confused. What is it you're trying to help me with? I don't need anything done to my internet. I got a 1 gigabyte per second internet connection. I don't think I need any faster than that. Do you remember the title of the video exactly I made in 2019? Because to me, story mode is campaign. There's no Warzone campaign. Yeah, so Cody, there's no snow here. Is this the location you were talking about? Yeah, I just don't see anything around here.
What? Won't take long. I'll gut your corpse.
Wow. Crazy. The damage that hammer does. Yeah, no, I'm just confused as to why you think I need help. That's the part I don't understand. Oh, it's a different game. Oh, okay. I thought it was map-wide also. I've heard that restricted area. Sound affecting. Okay, let me read that again. I thought it was map-wide. Oh, the snow. Yeah, no, I guess not. Also, I heard that restricted area sound effect in ACT. What sound? Craziness. Question, how about some cyberpunk? No, there's not going to be any cyberpunk. I'm just playing my PlayStation 5 that I just got. I was just kind of randomly playing some different games. When I go into conflict, you heard a restricted sound, like what you would in Assassin's Creed 2? Like an audio glitch, you mean? Oh, I mean, that's possible, that the game has glitches. Alright, let me try to go somewhere else. Maybe do one quick last fight. It is definitely pretty damn fast. Let's see. Where could I go? I could try there. Just for a minute. Or is it like a crackling sound you're hearing? Because there's a mystery behind that sound that happens to me sometimes. Okay, we'll go straight.
Hey, what are you doing?
What was an Easter egg? That was an Easter egg build on the game. Watch Dogs Legion has May and well. And Watch Dogs 2 has Easter egg. Oh yeah, lots of games have Easter eggs. I generally don't end up picking up on them. I think I've noticed a few before. Oh, okay. Sorry, where is this damn thing? Oh, okay, the dock is over here. Oh, I think I got stuck. That's fine. I hate how it automatically cloaks you. It's like I didn't ask for that. I just want to go in, smack a few more people, and I'll have to end the stream soon because I'm going to have to go for supper. Who wants some? Ooh.
The Lord will see us prevail.
Oh, the parry. Which is what's causing that poison.
I'll keep the rat busy.
He's taking poison damage from just sitting there like an idiot. And this is on the hardest difficulty. Might have to reset my skill points for post-game just for the fun of it. And only put in a couple of points to really give it a stronger
Watch for my lead.
challenge. Mind you, this hammer is pretty damn powerful too.
Coward! You won't escape! Let's strip the dog off!
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Very nice. Throw that again. Watch, let me see if I can do it. There we go. Automatic. I screwed up. Anyways, you can tell it's pretty smooth. That was the main point. Get in touch with your provider and ask what source of internet are you providing. Google it. I don't understand. What is it you're trying to get me to provide you with? I don't understand why you're so curious about my source of internet. There's nothing special about my internet. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't really care to know the technology behind how my internet is sourced to my home. I just know that my internet is the fastest that you can get in my area. That is all I'm aware of. I download a game, and it takes me like 10 or 15 minutes to download a 150 gig game or something. That's all I know. Alright, so that's that. Trying to think if there's anything else. I mean, it's been a little over an hour. Yeah, it's almost 6. I'll have to go in about like 5 minutes anyways for supper. And then I'm probably going to go for a walk because I've been at my computer and this thing for quite a while. I don't think it received anything. I think this will be the last one that I try. It's on the external hard drive, so the loading times won't be the best. But I am curious to see. Red Dead Online bounty. Okay, that's great. I'm curious to see if it performs better. I don't need to know anything I don't want to know. I don't know why you're harping on me to find out what kind of internet source I have. I just have regular internet. There's nothing magical or NASA-like about it. It's just a modem. I got my internet, and that's it. There's nothing special about it. Absolutely nothing revolutionary about it. It's just fast internet. That's all I know. Like right now, my computer's on Wi-Fi, but my PS5 is wired because I was downloading like a bunch of games. I downloaded like 15 games today, so I didn't want to wait around on Wi-Fi. So I don't know why you're so curious about the internet. Again, this is on the external hard drive. Is it okay to send in? What do you mean send info? I honestly have no clue what you're talking about, to be honest. I don't know what it is you're trying to find out. I have no idea. Again, PS5, but external hard drive. Not gonna lie, that actually wasn't all that bad. That wasn't that bad of a loading time at all. But I can tell right away that it's in 30 FPS. Yeah, I can definitely tell.
I love you, lady.
Yeah, so if I... Well, then again, my computer can't do 60, but, yeah. Okay, that's all I wanted to see, was the loading times on an external hard drive. Do I live in the woods? I mean, I live close to the woods. But not in the woods. Yeah, okay, so anyways. This is 30 FPS, so it didn't get the 60 frame. Which I'm not surprised, to be honest. I mean, it's Red Dead Redemption 2, yeah. I know that GTA 5 is going to be getting an update. Maybe I'll try that one next really quick, because GTA 5 I can run at 60 frames on my PC, but not Red Dead Redemption. Why are you curious if I live in the woods? Again, I'm just being honest. It's kind of weird. What is my internet source? Do I live in the woods? But yeah, Jake, it feels really good. I got the call yesterday, like I said, from EB Games. And they said, we got a PS5 for you. You want to come get it? I'm like, yeah. I was like, you better believe it. Let's see if this one got anything at all whatsoever. Does my internet connect? I've never seen anybody so obsessed with my internet connection. It's just regular, everyday internet. So I'll load this up quickly for like 2 minutes just to kind of get a quick feel. Like I said, Red Dead Redemption 2 actually loaded pretty quick. Again, this is on my external hard drive. This is not on my SSD. I'm not expecting it again to load any quicker. It's just about like in the game. Is there anything that I can notice? Loading story mode. Well, that's what I said I was doing. I will hang as long as I want to hang. So answer me this, Mojo. Why are you so curious about my internet connection? Or if I live in the woods? What is it you were trying to help me with? I'm really, really confused about that. Oh, it's in for... Oh, yeah, it's 30 frames. Definitely 30 frames. Whoops. There we go. Oh, yeah. Yeah, 30 frames. So if I want GTA 5, 60 frames, I still have to play on my PC. But again, I get it. And there goes my monetization. It'll probably copy that song really quick, and I'll have to edit it like the YouTube will do it. Yeah, so there's no difference. I mean, it's still very playable. I don't mind playing games at 30 frames, to be honest. I like the adaptive triggers, the way the controller feels. But yeah, if I really wanted to play it, I would play it on PC. For sure. PC looks better as well. But again, I know that PS5 is getting an exclusive GTA 5. It's probably going to include 60 frames better. It's probably going to be on part of the PC. So that's what I wanted to check out. Really quick. Yeah, it does. Oh, you have a PS5 too. I would like to help out. Okay. Now the asshole in me is going to come out because I'm just getting annoyed. What in the actual fuck are you trying to help me out with? That's what I don't understand. You've just been going on about my internet connection. Do I live in the woods? That you want to help me out. I don't need help. I really don't. And as for my internet connection type, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't give two shits about the technology as to how my internet is sourced to my home. I've already said that multiple times. So I don't get what it is I supposedly need help with. I'm not dyslexic. I mean, I have a lot of problems, but that's not one of them. I do not have dyslexia. So by me telling you my internet connection is going to have you help me with something I don't have. Now I'm really confused. Like, I mean, I know I'm only on like about 4 hours of sleep right now, but I don't think any amount of sleep is going to rest my brain enough for me to understand what in the blue hell you're trying to do. I just don't understand. But yeah, so anyways, most of the games, they run great. They run better. Well, you'll have to help somebody else out because I'm just fucking done. I'm just annoyed. I don't have time for this kind of weird fucking bullshit. I just don't. Don't have time for it. That's just the way I am. I'm an asshole. I just, I've banned people for less than that. I don't need 50,000 people in my streams. I play games by myself and I still enjoy them. You're asking me all these questions, but then you don't answer any of mine. It just makes no sense. And then he tries to pull a funny again, saying trying to help. I asked several times, help with what? And then he says dyslexia. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't have dyslexia. So that's that. So Jake, When did you get your PS5? And if there's anybody else left in here that has any quick questions about the PS5, you can go ahead and ask me. Before I go for supper. Yeah, so all of these work really, really good. Goes the Tsushima. Oh, installed. There we go. I was like, I don't have all those other ones installed. Oh, nice. Is he adopting or, you know? That's cool. I'm just glad that I only had to wait a month to get something that seems to be impossible to get. So that was kind of like the lesson for everybody was call your local GameStop or EB Games. At least I know that's how it works in Canada. They're like the, the corporate, whatever you want to call it, twin company of one another. I think GameStop is just the American store, and EB Games is just the Canadian version of the same franchise or whatever you want to call it. And just be asked to be put on a playing list, on a waiting list, and let it play out. Is what I meant. That's what I did, and boom, within a month. Because they told me, again, they're so secretive about the information too. They're all like, can't tell you too much. It's classified information. It's almost like asking people about Area 51. They just kind of told me, we get a lot of little spurts of PlayStation 5s. And it's not always advertised online. They just get little spurts. There it is. Here's a few here, here's a few there. And if you're on a waiting list, they're not going to advertise it online or on Twitter, that they have some in. They're going to call your home or your cell phone or whatever and tell you that they have a PS5 for you. And they will reserve it for closing time of the next day. So essentially 24 hours or whatever ish, or a bit more. So if they call you at like 9 in the morning on a Friday, you can pick it up Saturday, up until close, right? So that's pretty damn good. You don't have to like, oh my God, I'll be there in 5 seconds. And they're like, yeah, sorry. So we kind of sold it to somebody else, which is really amazing. I'm almost tempted to make a video dedicated to just how I got my PS5 because I could promise you right now, a lot of people don't know that. No one would believe or fathom the thought that you can call a store, have your name be put on a waiting list where they call you when they get one in order of priority sequence, of course, and where they actually hold the item. My PS5 was reserved. Do you know how insane that is? That is like out of this world. I mean, I do, but I don't. If I had to find some spots, like I said, to shit on it, you can only display 9 games on your dashboard. You can't change the size of the icon. You have to go to your game library, tab over to installed, go through the console storage, go down, look at your extended storage. There's all your games. You can't choose to pin them. You can't pin it to the dashboard. I mean, there's a lot of room there. Like, I don't need to see the cover of the game take up my whole screen. Instead, why don't you make the icons a little bit bigger? Like, I mean, look at that. Look at all that empty space. I don't need to see her. Why don't we fill out the page with more games? You know what I mean? Like, so that part I don't like the UI at all. Like, it's dumb, to be perfectly frank. I mean, even the base PlayStation 4 when it came out 7 years ago was nicer. The icons were bigger. It was in the middle. There was no limit as to how many icons you saw on your dashboard. There was an option to actually toggle the limitation on and off. You don't have that on here. There's no saving up or saving up. There's no saving your PS5 game data to a USB. Everything's price gated behind a subscription if you want to back up your saves. So if you want to continue your game on Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you can't do the traditional method of just putting it on the cloud. Or I mean, you can, sorry, but yeah, that's what I mean. You have to pay for that. You can't do it through the USB, sorry, because you can swap your PS4 save to the PS5 via the USB stick, but that's PS4 technology. But some PS4 games don't like convert over, if that makes any sense. It's the same thing with Spider-Man. You can't do it either with that because it's an actual PS5 game. It's like a completely different game. You have to upload it from the PS4 version from inside the game. Same thing with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Same thing again with Borderlands 3. You got to go pick your character, click upload save on the PS4 version of the game, then go on the PS5 version, download it. If you don't have PS Plus, you can't do that. I'm just being blunt, right? Like I don't always like to just sugarcoat everything and go, "Yay, it's awesome." I like to, shit on things where they need to be shat on. To me, those are oversights. You can't change your theme. You can do less on your PS5 in some ways than you could on your PS4 day one. I'm sure they're going to change some stuff. This is just the beginning. I get it. But not even being able to categorize your games. I mean, this just I mean, look at the stream right now. This is just kind of weird. This is it. This is the whole show. Just those little icons at the top. I just think that's incredibly weird. And then having to be forced to come here where all of a sudden, bam, all your games are like right there in your face. Like that's a nice size to have. Then I got to still tab over. It's too bad that even within the game library, you can't default it to go to the game library. It's kind of like Windows 8 back in the day. You could choose whether or not you wanted to boot up at the desktop or in that tile menu screen. So it's too bad that you can't choose the game library as your go-to. And furthermore, have it so that it doesn't start off at your collection. I don't want to browse 514 games. I just want to go to what's installed. And then I want to do it in alphabetical order. So if I choose this, like that, A to Z install game library, it's too bad that I can't just go back to it, bam, and it would remember my last setting. Even that would make it that much quicker rather than having to go here and, start scrolling down and, right? It slows down a little bit. The only bad thing was that upgrading Watch Dogs to the PS5 version forces you to start a new profile. You're supposed to be able to go over, like I just mentioned. You're supposed to be able to carry it over. I mean, I haven't done it yet, but that's because Watch Dogs doesn't have a 60 frames per second mode. And I'm already a little bit tired of the game. I don't see myself revisiting that game as often or as much as some of the other titles. So I left as you could see here, I kept the PS4 version of the game on my console, on the external hard drive, to kind of give me a little bit of a leeway room. So that's why I did that. I'll have to look into that after. But yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting again to see some of the other stuff. How it runs. I'll do that a little bit later. I've had my PS5 now for about 24 hours and I haven't even really had a chance to play it much. The most I've done is actually with you guys for the past hour and a half. That was pretty much the only shot I had. Before that, I had to redo my games, like my teams for some of my sports games, like NBA 2K21. What else? FIFA, Madden, pretty much all the sports titles except for the NHL because it's a PS4 only title. The stuff doesn't carry over, like your franchise and all that, like your offline career. So I had to re-edit all my teams again and their positions, pick my favorite team, start from the beginning, and that actually took quite a while to do that. So, yeah. But I mean, overall, though, like, don't, like, I know I'm all like, but the things that I'm complaining about are legit. I really do think they're legitimate things to complain about. It's not just to find something to whine about. But I mean, all in all, I mean, the speed is just off the hook. The value that you're getting out of this console and the Xbox Series X as well. Don't get it twisted. You're getting an incredible value. Unreal. Like I said, comes with that 1 terabyte NVMe PCI Express 4.0 that a lot of people aren't aware of. It's not your everyday SSD. It's the next generation, and that's why, again, to recap with what I said earlier, that's why it's locked and you cannot expand the memory right now. They want to make sure that you're getting the highest quality. So they are going to do that, and that's going to be amazing. And if I do buy a 2 terabyte, again, that is going to cost the same price as the console. So, yeah, it's mind-blowing how they even offered that machine at that price for $500 Canadian. Like, it just blows my mind, to be honest with you. And then it's $130 more Canadian for the disc version, but I don't play discs, so I don't care about that. But yeah, I mean, these are little, like, little hiccups. That extra second I gotta come here and go there. And it takes an extra 3 or 4 seconds, I get it. And then the game loads really fast. You know what I mean? Overall, like, the experience is mind-blowing. The Wi-Fi connection is even better than the one on my computer that I have. The speed of the download is incredible. I think they completely removed the throttling on the store. So like PS4, right? I would hardline it when I download a game. I could never download a game on my PlayStation 4 Pro nearly at the speed of like Steam or Microsoft or even Uplay, or you know what I mean? Like PCs, like everything's always like uncapped and faster and just better, more options. Well, let me tell you something. My PS5 is wired right now, and it downloaded Red Dead Redemption 2 in about 15 minutes. And what's the size of this biatch? 110 gigs. 10, 15 minutes it took. Like, that's fast. You know what I mean? Like, that's bloody fast. That's insane. Yes, I have fast internet, but that's not my point. Like, I mean, wow. That's about the time it took, maybe a little bit more, because Rockstar is pretty good on PC. Like, for giving you decent speeds, it's actually pretty decent. But yeah. Yeah, so there's a lot of wonderful things about it. It's super quiet as well. Like, I mean, I've played some intensive games, and I mean, it is quiet. Like, it's like I can't even tell it's on. I mean, apart from seeing it on my television, right? I turn on my PS4 and it's like, okay, you're there. And it's a PS4 Pro Death Stranding edition. So it's like the latest revision of the PS4 Pro. My PS4 Pro is only like a year old. And it's much, much, much quieter than the first line of PS4 Pros that I had that mine burnt out and just kind of went kaput. But at the trade-off of making it quieter, they're allowing it to get a little bit hotter, but nowhere in the danger zone. And I think that's part of the magic, how they allowed it to not have to blow so hard, like for the fan, why it's quieter. But yeah, you will not hear a pin drop with the PS4 Pro running. It's still loud enough. Like, it's not like uncomfortable loud. It's not like jet engine loud, but it's still noisy. The PS5, I know that different people are having different like experiences. Some people have like a coil whine and all that. I just don't care. I've got it warranted for 2 years. If it lasts 2 years, you know what I mean? I'm hoping my YouTube channel is going to do a little bit better in another 2 years. I've been at it for 2 years and it's grown astronomically. I'm hoping in another 2 years it'll do pretty good. Heaven forbid I have to buy another PlayStation 5 in 2 years. You know what I mean? By then they'll probably have like a PS5 Pro or something like that. Well, maybe not quite in 2 years. I don't remember how long the PS4 Pro came out. But yeah, I do have to go there. But just bear with me for a second. PS4 release date was 2/13. Yeah, it was 2/13. Just so I kind of get like a bit of a 2/13. It was exactly 3 years later. Okay. It was literally 3 years later. Okay, that just kinda gives you an idea of something to maybe expect for the future. I don't see it in 2 years. Well, you never know. Yeah, in 3 years, we could get a PS5 Pro. That would be wild. But yeah. Anyhow, I'm guessing by the silence in the chat that either everybody's left or I banned them for annoying the shit out of me, or they have no further questions. But yeah, I might come back later tonight. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do, to be honest. I have no idea. I'm a little bit like all over the place. I still kind of feel like playing Cyberpunk. I haven't played it in a couple of days now because I've been stuck doing a lot of stuff with my PS5. I still want to finish that game. I haven't finished it yet. Still having fun. I'm still debating on what online game to have as my go-to game for when I stream. Like, is it going to be Call of Duty? You know what I mean? Like, what am I going to do there? I still haven't fully decided what my game is going to be and if I'm going to resume with World of Warcraft. So I have some pretty huge decisions to do. And my phone keeps ringing, and it's supper time. But yeah. Well, thanks for stopping by for whoever is left in here. I guess nobody's got any questions. And thanks. And I'm glad you were able to get one too, at a good deal too. Nothing beats birthday gift. And like I said, for anyone who cares, I'll probably be back in a few hours. I just don't know what I'm going to do. Like I said, I'm probably going to want to experiment, kind of hop around a few different games, just kind of test out the whole system. And yeah, so if people want to tag along, chit chat, and keep asking me about my fucking internet connection and wanting to help me with my supposed dyslexia. I still don't get it, but whatever. All right, I shall be back later.